Okay. Hello and welcome to NaNoRDU's Discord walkthrough. I am ML Sachila, otherwise known as Jen, and I am going to be walking you through how to sign up for Discord, creating an account, and join the NaNoRDU server. I will also show you how to manage notifications on your platform, so that way you can have as many or as few notifications from the NaNoRDU server as you'd like. We'll also go over certain things like the rules and roles section, how to use the reaction roles. We'll go through the channel guide together so you can see which channels we have and where all the different posts go. We'll also talk about the different types of channels that we have, the threads, voice channels, text channels, sprinting channels, all that sort of thing. I also want to cover today just how to interact with others on the forum and on the Discord server. We'll also go over bots and sprinting and how to use the new Discord /commands. So let's get started. Okay. Let me share my screen and figure out how to get this going. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so I have downloaded Discord to my computer. You can also download Discord to your phone, and you can also just log in on a regular internet browser. This is what you see once you've logged out, I guess. But we're going to go down here and where it says need an account, and we're going to register. And I am just going to go ahead and put things in here. I'm going to register as NaNoRDU, but you want to choose what your put your information in. And then, of course, you want to put your date of birth. I am just going to throw, let's do November 1st. And we're going to go down and I'm going to do, I think the very first one was done in 1998, but I am not entirely sure, but we'll just throw a 1 in there. We want to verify. Click. Of course, you'll have to verify all the fun stuff and get sorted in there. Now, okay, I have logged in, and this is how it looks right now. I will go and you'll have to check your email to verify, and I will take care of that in just a minute. So I'm going to show you some things, and I can't turn that off. That Synergy thing, you can just feel free to ignore. That's just something I have running on my computer. But sometimes Discord will show that if you're like playing a game or Steam, that sort of thing, it'll pop up and share that information with your friends, just to say, hey, I'm playing this game, because Discord was originally built as a gaming friend share platform. So anyway, so what you have down here is your information here. You've got user settings, you have your NaNoRDU, your username. Now, whenever you choose to share your username from Discord with friends, you need to make sure you include this hashtag and 4 numbers at the end of your name. It's easy just to go ahead and hit this like little copy button, and that will give you the whole thing. So that's important to know. And of course, you can always go and view your profile and change things like your profile image, your banner, and certain things. Now, Discord is a free platform to use, but they do have paid memberships that you can then use to change, like have individual server profiles. So if you're in more than one server, you can have like different profile pictures per each server, that sort of thing. There's all sorts of different things to do. That's all under this Nitro button here to add. And of course, with user settings, you have all these other options here to set up like your voice and video to make sure you're connected to your microphone and webcam if that's what you want. You can also have manage your friend requests and devices and authorized apps. So devices would be like where if you have it on your mobile phone as well as your desktop, that's probably where you're going to want to have and do all that. So I'm going to just exit out of here for now. It's wanting me to find or start a conversation and add friends and also add servers. So I'm going to pause this for a minute and just verify so that way I can get into the NaNoRDU server. You want to make sure you have a verified account. So let me just do that real quick and verify my email. Which means I have to get into the NaNoRDU email and verify our email address. But there we go. We've got that all set up. Okay, so I have verified our email. We're going to add a server. So, so here's to add a server. You can create your brand new a brand new server just for you and your friends, which is nice. I have a couple of different servers for different friend groups that I manage. But there is all that. So when you click add a server, we want to go down here and say join a server because we have an invite already. Our Discord invite is on our NaNoRDU page. It is actually, let me show you. I will switch my screen share here and show you where that is. So let me just stop share and I will share with you this other page. All right, so here we are on the NaNoRDU homepage. And if you go down here, it'll say join NaNoRDU's Discord. This is the link you want to join our Discord. And it's just going to pop up and it'll launch your app if you have it. So we want to go join NaNoRDU. Oh, I gotta switch. I have to keep switching screen shares. I'm sorry. So let me switch back to Discord. That was not the one I wanted to do. Here we go. We're going to share this one. Here we go. So as soon as I clicked on that link on our NaNoRDU page, it pulled up the Discord with this invite, and it says you've been invited to join NaNoRDU. And you want to hit the blue join NaNoRDU button. And it's going to come up and it has mentions. So down here where this hand is little waving hand, it says you must complete a few more steps before you can talk. And that is what we need to basically have you read through some rules. So let's hit our complete button and read through the rules. It says before you can talk here, you'll need to complete a few required steps below. And here, these are just our rules for the server to help keep it a peaceful place that everyone can enjoy. We have a NaNoWriMo rule code of conduct link to go through and read. We have our region's guiding principles and code of conduct. Please be kind to each other and assume good faith in your fellow Rhymos. Keep content appropriate for all channels. Make sure you read all those codes of conduct above. We request that you use your NaNoWriMo username and your server nickname, and I will show you how to change all that in just a moment. But that just helps us connect who is who on which platforms we're using as we go across between the Nano site, the Nano forums, and Discord. A big rule for us, number 7, all areas of our server are intended for all ages, with the exception of our sole 18+ channel, specifically for discussing adult themes in your writing. To get access to that 18+ rule channel, you just have to ask a mod in the Hey Mods channel, and we can get you that. Also, if you have any questions, you can use the Hey Mods channel. This is the fastest way to speak to an ML or a warrior minion or a server mod to basically get any questions answered, or if you need any help on the server. Last but not least, we ask that you reference and abide by someone's DM preferences before sending DMs on Discord. This includes MLs and warrior minions, as not all of our DMs are open. And if a user does not have a DM preference role, please ask before DMing them. So once you have read through all these rules, and if some of that didn't make sense, don't worry, I will go through that again in just a moment as we hit each of those. But once you go through and read all those, you click I have read and agreed to the rules. And you hit this green button that says submit. So now we have a few different things here. I am going to close this. And we are now in the full NaNoRDU site. We have a conversation. Now that you've joined NaNoRDU, make your presence known and say hello. Got it. I'm going to leave these tips on so that way they help me to remember all these different little places to mention. There's a tip here. These are all channels here in this left-hand roll, left-hand bar. The NaNoRDU, we do have a lot of channels in our Discord server. We have been working on paring them down, and the new forums are a big help for that. So let's just go ahead and see what we have. In welcome and rules, we have basically just a list of all the rules we just went over. We also have these green little check marks here. These are roles, reaction roles. Basically, by reacting with the check, you've read the rules. We have, hopefully, by converting us to a community server, gotten rid of the need for these, but it's a good idea if you can just to go ahead and click all these little green check marks here to let us know that you've read the rules and that you are working with us. And that way you also should have all the roles you need to access all parts of the server that you need. Now you'll probably see that I've got these little red bubbles here. That basically means I have a mention. And here in this very far left-hand bar, you will have your list of servers. So if you join more than one server, it will populate here, and you can then switch between servers. If someone direct messages you, their little icon will pop up here, so that way you can see them. You can also manage all your friend requests here through this little top direct messages button too. So we've covered welcome and rules. And channel announcements. This is where if we need to send a announcement to the entire server, this is where we do it. So we have Carlbot. He's a little helper bot here in our server. So he will auto post some things for us basically reminders like filling out the pre-November survey for us, or reminding you to check in with our Google Calendar or region event page. We also have, just check one thing here real quick. We also have a calendar channel. Now, the calendar channel is not something we can interact with. It basically just this little this little text message right here will continuously update with our upcoming events. And then you're also able to click on these and it will take you to the Google Calendar, I believe. Or if you click on them, it will bring up your Discord, the Discord event for us. If you're interested, you can hit this little interested button. And one, it lets us know that you are interested in this event. And two, it should then also give you a notification reminder that when this event is starting. So I'm going to unclick that for now. The NaNoRDU Directory. Oh, okay. So let's go first to this role selection right here. And if I go through all this, I bet we should be able to see that. If not, I'm going to have to go fix things. Through here is our role selection. Now, roles are really important for a Discord server. They help us realize and kind of identify everybody through things like for pronouns, whether you're a plotter or a pantser, how long you've been doing Nano, if you're a local or a visiting Nano participant, and also your DM preferences. So I'm just going to show you something real quick. I'm going to click on my own profile right here. So right here on this right-hand column are all the users and bots that are currently online on our server. So there's quite a few members here. We have currently 60 members online. But if I click on my own profile here, you can see my name for the server as well as my Discord user. You can fill out your profile, like about me, how long I've been a member on Discord and in the NaNoRDU server. And then you can see all my roles that I just mentioned here, that I'm an ML for our region. I'm also an admin for the server, that I've agreed to the rules, that I've been a participant for 10 plus years, that I believe I have an okay to DM. So that means you can DM me without asking for permission within the server first. So those are all the different kinds of roles and why they're important. So that way, if you're going to say, if you're chatting with someone and you want to send them a friend request or a DM, you want to check their roles first to see what they have available. You can also, what I also like is add notes to these little things. And this is, if you click here, you can add a note about this user. And they don't see that, but they do, but you do when you click on them. So that way you can make notes as to if you really enjoy sprinting with them, or if they have a quote that you want to remember, that kind of thing. And then also down here is a quick way to DM somebody without leaving your channel that you are currently in. So you can just type in a message here, hit enter, and it will DM them. So I'm going to go through and do my roles real quick. And by reacting, you just want to match the icon to the icon on the bottom. So if you saw, I'm going to actually hit they, them, because this is kind of going to be a server role or a ML profile. I am going to say we are a planter, a cross between a plotter and a pantser. I'm not going to choose a genre. Down here, I am going to say that we have been 10 plus years. we are a local RIMO, so we're going to react with the NaNoRDU, and I am going to open up, I am fine with the other users DMing me. And this last rule is for the early bird sprints. We start at 5 a.m. on weekdays. React to that one if you would like a ping for those. So let's see. Nope. I'm going to have to play with that. All right. So this directory actually just gives us a list of channels and what they're supposed to be for. I will have to go through and fix that in just a minute. Introductions. So when you first join the server, you can come here and you will have a ping to introduce yourself for others to come back and read. If you scroll up, you can see we have some people who have replied. And basically, you just give us the name that you would like to be called, pronouns if you'd like. Your age doesn't have to be exact if you don't want to. What is your NaNoWriMo username? And tell us one interesting fact about yourself or your Nano project. And then just a little reminder to read your rules and to change your nickname to Nano user and then preferred name. So I will go down here. I'm going to show you, since we have that little reminder to show what your Nano name is. I'm going to find NaNoRDU right here. So I have NaNoRDU right here. I'm going to click here and I'm going to go edit server profile, nickname, and I am going to do NaNoRDU, and then so that would be your server, and then I'm just going to go then your name that you'd like to be called, nickname, and user name, and then the name you'd like to be called there. And you just hit save changes, and that's your server profile. We can close that, and then actually it should show us, yep, right there. So we have done role selection, we have changed our nickname. Hey Mods. Now, Hey Mods is the place where you go to get a hold of a mod or a municipal liaison. You can easily just @mod, or really just typing anything. Hey Mods. And if you want, you can, and then whatever your question is, or you can add, I'd like the, I'd like access to the 18+ channel. And just like that, you've added a message and let us know that you want. A lot of us mods have notifications set up for this channel, so we get a ping whenever someone posts. And that buzzing noise was my phone with that ping. just like that. And a lot of times someone can get to you fairly quickly, but if we don't reply right away, do know that someone will see it, usually within 24 hours, and get you sorted. So that covers the welcome and announcements in our welcome lobby. Let me show you how to change those notifications real quick, and then we can move on to our next section. So if you click this little arrow up here at NaNoRDU, you can come down to notification settings. Now, this is very important, especially during November when we get a lot of activity on the server. So if it becomes too much and you just want to be have no notifications from the server and basically just say when I'm online and interacting in the server, that's when I am going to pay attention to it. I don't want any pings or dings on my phone or when I'm busy trying to work or sleep. You just want to hit this mute NaNoRDU, and that will prevent any unread indicators or notifications from appearing unless you are mentioned. And that's where someone does the little @ sign to your username. You can also suppress. So you just click these little buttons and you can do mute duration. You can do it for 15 minutes, an hour, 3 hours, 24 hours, or until I turn it back on. And basically that just keeps you from being overwhelmed with the number of notifications. You can also suppress everyone, and here these are general pings to different to everybody on the server. So basically, if a mod wanted to make sure an announcement got out, if an event was canceled and we wanted to make sure everyone knew, we would hit @everyone and it would then notify everyone. So if you want to not get those pings like that, again, you just click this little X check mark. You can also suppress all role mentions. So we have roles like for sprinters and the early bird sprinters. If you click on those roles and then someone @ that role, say, hey, sprinters, I'm going to sprint for 30 minutes in this channel, or I'll be sprinting for the next 3 hours in this channel. You would get a ping because you have that role selected. So if you're trying to suppress and get rid of all the notifications, you just want to make sure you click that and you've got all these turned on. So I'm going to go ahead and switch them back on because I like to have notifications on. And then server notifications also, if you want, I highly recommend just turning on only @mentions. If you have it set to all messages, that means anytime someone messages or posts something in any channel of the server, you will get a notification ping. And I can tell you real quickly, in November, that gets old very fast. So if anything, you would probably want to set it to only @mentions or nothing until you get more familiar with the server. You can scroll down. I forgot there was some sections down here. Mute new events. I think if a new event is added to the server, you would get notification. Mobile push notifications. So if you add the Discord app to your mobile phone and you sign on, it will, if you have this selected with this green check mark here, it will push notifications to your phone. So if someone were to @mention you or ping you or DM you, you would get that notification. If it realizes, like, it will send it not only to your desktop or laptop, wherever you're logged on the computer, it would also send that notification to your mobile phone as long as you are logged into Discord on your phone. So there is that. Notification overrides. Add a channel to override its default settings, notification settings. So this is all these notifications will be for the entire server for you. You can add defaults. So if you want to say you wanted to have you want to participate in the writing forum more often, but you didn't want to hear about the rest of the server so much, then you can override. You can click this and say, I want all of them, all the messages ping me for just this server or just this thread forum. Excuse me. Or you can also go through and mute just that one. So, and that you can easily to do notification settings. You can also go through on the actual, on this actual channel list here. Let's say I really like medium sprints. I can go here and change the notification settings on the fly if I wanted to without going through all the menus. And I can easily set it to all messages. And so that way, anytime anyone's posts something in medium sprints, I can go through and I will get a ping for that. Okay. So, okay. So I think I went through and fixed the Discord channel. So let me get you guys in there and I can show you that. Okay. So this is our NaNoRDU directory. Now, if you have trouble seeing this again, please let me know. If it comes up blank on your screen, I think I fixed it. But this is what you should be able to see here. You won't be able to message or send messages in this channel. It is purely for reference, but you should be able to see this kind of list of posts and stuff. And so basically this list right here is the same as what you'll find, and in the same order is all of this, minus the archive stuff. You might have to play with that some. Now, what we have here, so basically it goes through just what I was telling you. The welcome lobby has all these different places where you can do introductions, rule selection to pick up roles and open up more of the server, bots, and help and how to. So that corresponds to these sections right here. And the fun part about these is you can also click on these and it will take you straight there as well. And so we have an event channel for our server-wide events. So if there is a write-in taking place that has been scheduled on the Nano forums, or a Discord event like our virtual AMA, Ask Us Anything kind of thing, any event that is scheduled on, say, the NaNoWriMo website, first place you want to look for, if it is supposed to be on Discord, is the event cafe. Now, we do in our region have a couple of global events that we participate in every year. One of those being Oh How, which is 100 hours of writing. So right now we only have channels for the Oh How open at the moment. We will be participating in the global writing crawl, and we will have a channel set up for them soon as well. Now, sprinting. Sprinting is a very popular way to write, especially during Nano. Sprinting is you set a timer, you write as fast as you can, or as much as you can during the time that you set. And when the timer goes off, you kind of total your words and see how you did. And then oftentimes people will take a break for a little bit and then come back and do another sprint. Now, everybody likes different sprint times. Some people really like shorter sprints, like 5-10 minutes at a time. I prefer, 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how well my focus is that day. I need something longer than 10 minutes to really get into the story and get the words flowing. But usually by 25 minutes, I have fizzled out and I need a short break before I continue. And then some people like to do longer sprints, like 30 minutes to an hour, or even 2 hours in length sometimes. So we've found that a lot of times if someone is sprinting in one channel, that channel kind of gets taken over by that one set time length. So for anytime sprints, we have created 4 different channels for sprinting. So if you like short sprints, you can go to short sprints, and those are 5 to 15 minutes in length. If you like the medium kind of sprinting length, you can do 15 to 30 minutes in medium sprints, and then long sprints are 30 to 60 minutes. Now, if you're not sure what sprinting time you like or you like to vary it up and do 5 minutes here, but then 15 minutes and kind of go back and forth, you can choose our Chaos Sprint channel, and that's just open for sprinting at any time. Any of these are just please be mindful if, like, say, if someone else is already sprinting in the Chaos sprints or in the short sprints, try to coordinate those sprints with them and see if basically you don't want to come into Chaos sprints and find someone doing like a bunch of 10-minute sprints and then schedule a 30-minute sprint right on top of them or out from under them as soon as the sprint ends. So just try to be respectful and chat with the other sprinters and kind of come to a middle ground when you're using the anytime sprints. Now, next we have our conversation corner. And this is just kind of where all the chatting and interacting with other Rhymos take place during and on the server during November and off season. We have our NaNoRDU Flare, where you can share your favorite memes or pictures or stories about our area here in the Research Triangle area, or Chapel Hill or Durham. Here in NaNoRDU, you can share your, if you have any favorite write-in stories or awesome writing locations kind of thing. That's kind of where those items go. General is just our open chat. You'll often see where other people join. You can see where people have kind of talk about things. We'll drop memes and GIFs and all that. Just make sure it's all PG friendly. Back to the directory. We have our social forum. This is our forum place for anything social, talking about things we're celebrating, or if we're struggling with a certain with some different things, or you want to talk about games. We have a lot of gamers in our region, so there's a lot of talk about different computer games or platform games. There's any random topics can go there in the social forum. We also have a writing forum, and this is a tool. This is a place where you can talk about the different tools you use for your writing, or the different plotting techniques, or if you have a question about world building or character development. If you found a awesome writing resource, that's where you want to post it, is into the writing forum. And then we also have a promo forum where you can share all publishing opportunities you've come across, or if you have found a writing contest you like, or you can even share your own or others' works for sale, anything else that's promotional. It just goes right into our promo forum. So while we are here, I want to talk about the different types, because if you see here, there's some different symbols by these channels. The hashtags take you to a text-based channel, like our general. So it's just a regular text-based channel. You can type and say different things, say hello. We'll go, hi, NaNoRDU. Ooh, let's spell things right. And do that sort of thing. You can see when I hover over these different messages here, we have this little toolbar coming up where it says add reaction, reply, create a thread, and more. And that just kind of like copy a message link, or if you want your computer to read the message to you. reply. You can mark something unread if you want to come back to it later. But there's two here that these three here are the most popular choices. And I think that's why they're also on the bar. So I want to show you how to do these. Add reaction. Adding reactions are really fun. And so some servers have unique reactions to that server, and you'll see them all right here. You'll see the little server buttons if you're in more than one server, and that will give you the option to switch between them. But then there's also just general reactions, and they're just little emojis that you can add to a message to say that you've seen it or you really enjoy it. So you can react, and it pops up under here. And you can, if you hover over the reaction buttons, it will show you who reacted to your message or to another message. Now, if you want to reply to a message, you hit this little arrow button where it pops up and says reply. Now, this button is really cool because especially when things are slower on the server, or if there's, or also when things are very fast-paced and active on the server, if you're replying to someone in particular and you want to make sure they see it, you can hit the reply button. And so that way it will ping the original author that sent the message, and you say, I'm just going to say hello again, and if I send it, you can see it replies to there, and you probably heard the little badoop where my other computer picked up and received that ping. So there is that. And then it also, that way you can also kind of see what message people are replying to for that. There is also another reply here where someone was saying they weren't ready, and someone replied to that saying, same, it completely snuck up on me. So that's pretty cool. Now you can also create a thread. These are interesting. They're not always done, but if you kind of get into a side conversation, you can hit create thread and say, hi. I'm just going to throw this in here. I'm a new friend. And then it creates a thread. So that way it takes you to kind of like its own little chat box. So anybody can see these. You can also go here up to the top if I close this out. So you can see, there's threads here. And it will take you to that chat. And it kind of creates a separate chat under general without being in general. It's an interesting feature. We don't use it a lot here in the NaNoRDU server, but you guys are welcome to. Again, as long as everything is kept PG and civil, we pretty much go for anything. If you ever want to see what threads are currently active or older threads that you would like to reactivate, you can always go and hit this little threads button right there. Now, this is just another place to use and set your notification settings. Pinned messages. This is helpful to know because if there's a little red dot, that means there's a new pinned message. You can click on it and you can jump to that message in our timeline. Or you can also jump back to present to where it was, or to where you were. Now these are much older messages, so they may not be relevant anymore, and we may need to clean these up. But it's just nice to see if we pin a message, it's usually important information, and you can always go there. This little button here with the little people, you can hide this member list if you do not want to see who is currently active and online. I like to have it for quick reference, so that way I can click on someone to be able to check DM or pronouns, which is nice. Now, let's see. I was talking about different types of channels, so let's see. So we've talked about our regular chatting text-based channels here. We have an announcement channel. So you can see, I've already talked about it, but it has a little bullhorn for announcements. And then we also have a little rule book for our welcome and rules. So forums, I'm going to go down here to our writing forum because it's a little more active. So you can see these different posts. This type of forum, these forum posts are very new to to Discord and our NaNoRDU server. So a lot of these forums do not have many posts or any posts at all. But I wanted to show you how they work. So you can always view the different posts. There's older posts and there's new posts. If you go say click on one, it brings you to kind of like before, where it was a separate little chat area, basically. So you can react to a post. I'm going to go ahead and react. You can read the post and it tells you who the original poster is. You can also follow a post if you would like to be notified if there's ever a reply to a certain post. You can hit follow, and if you saw that, I hit follow and it pulls it down here to my my channel bar. So then I can always click back to it, back and forth very quickly. And then if you ever want it out of your channel bar, you just hit unfollow. But that doesn't mean you can't find it. You just go back to the original forum. Now you can also search through posts, or you can create a new post. And then when you create posts, we ask that you put a tag on it, so that way you can see or easily search through different the different posts. So if someone's talking about resources and you want to see anything about resources, it easily can pop up. Same thing with world building, or if you want to go recent activity or creation time, you can kind of easily find different things in posts without having to search through and scroll through dozens and dozens of messages, which is very nice. When you create message, you put a title, you put your message, you can add even a little picture. And then I think this may be one of the places where we have required a tag, but I think you can add your own tags as well. So there's that. And the same thing with social. We have different tags that you can choose: snack table, random, gaming, celebrations, and commiserations, where we have talked about different things. The social forum is usually for more social things like gaming, and we also wanted to talk about like preparations for Nano and all sorts of things like that. And then the promo forum is, again, similar. You can create your own posts, and we just ask that you tag it either a Nano resource, a writing resource, or a miscellaneous promo. Okay. So we've talked about the different types of channels. There is one more type of channel that we have, and those are the voice channels. Now, again, here in NaNoRDU, we don't use the voice channels a lot. You are welcome to, if you'd like, just, again, be polite, keep it PG. We don't curse on the server, just to keep it all ages appropriate for our younger members of NaNoRDU. We have, to join a voice channel, you just click on it and it will pop up just like that. And you have a microphone. It says I'm muted, so I'd have to unmute. I actually think this channel has the push to talk option available, so you may have to go through settings and figure out your push to talk button. And basically, that just means there's a button on your keyboard or mouse that you have set up that you have to hold down to then speak and to activate your mic. And then I'm going to leave this channel, so I'm just going to disconnect. Those I highly recommend if you want to play with them. You can, but it does take a little bit of finagling with your own setup and settings with your microphone. And that's kind of hard to explain because everybody's setup is different and what they have is different. So you may have to kind of figure that out on your own. Okay, so I guess the last couple of things I need to talk about is sprinting and bots. So if you go to the help and how to, we have little forum posts about our different type bots that we have here in our server. And as you can see here on the side, there's a whole list of bots here. The main bots that our members can interact with are Bot of Doom, Jane, Sprinto, and WinnieBot. Now, Discord has recently asked that bots change to /commands, and some bots are struggling to keep up and make those changes needed to then still be active on Discord. I know Winnie and Jane are not working to the best of their abilities, but they're okay. The main sprinting bot we use is Sprinto, and he is working well. He is up to date, and we are still working with these. We're transitioning into the /commands. So if you have any issues with /commands, this is the section to pay attention to, but you can also message us again in Hey Mods or talk to someone who is actively sprinting or a mod who is actively sprinting to help you with those commands. But I am going to go through those all right now, and I'm going to run some sprints, and I will show you what they are all about. But again, like if you click on, say, Sprinto, here's all the commands you can use. And you go / the command list, it's all there. So before I jump into Sprinto commands, I'm going to show you Bot of Doom real quick. I like Bot of Doom, and he is still on the old commands, but he is a much smaller bot. And he is one that is originally the developers here in NaNoRDU and working closely with NaNoRDU because Bot of Doom is based on NaNoRDU's Box of Doom challenge that we would use in in-person write-ins. And he is pretty fun. So do I have a how-to? Yes. So all you need to know how to draw a card. So it's the $ and draw, and then you want to put a difficulty. So either VE, E, M, H, very, or VH, or all. And that helps you pick out a card. For example, you want to type $ draw, very easy, VE for very easy, and no with no word stick options. So I'm going to go into the bot shenanigans. That is our channel for trying out and playing with bots. If you are just trying to figure out how to get them to work and how to use them, this is the place to do it, to test it without interrupting the flow of anyone else's conversation or someone else's sprints. So I'm going to try to do a Bot of Doom. We're going to do draw, $, draw. And you can see the slash matching slash commands have come up, but we're going to ignore that for now. I'm going to put very easy and yes for the optional word option, draw sticks. And it drew a special stick. So it says, I have drawn unlucky. I have to draw twice and take the more difficult. So Bot of Doom is a word challenge, basically. So I'm going to draw again. Draw very easy. No, because I'm already using a special word stick. And then I'm going to draw very easy. No. And 125 words. And then so it was saying draw twice and take the more difficult. So then basically I would take this and then I would take it to whatever sprint I'm going to, and then try to write 75 words in my sprinting time that I have set. And that would be how you use the Bot of Doom. There is different levels. So if you go level, level very easy. So let me show you how to do that. And it'll tell you. So if I go, let's say level, and we're going to do, let's go medium. And it tells me, Bot of Doom tells me that the level difficulty of medium has a range of 500 words to 850 words. So that's a way to easily check what level you are pulling from or what you might want to pull from. And then the Bot of Doom word options decoded. So if you draw, like, for instance, we drew unlucky in the Bot Shenanigans channel, and it's draw twice and you have to choose the worst of the options. But we also have things like monarchy, where it's the ML's choice or whoever's hosting the write-in. Colony is a stranger's choice. So basically, for work, if we were in person, we would take it up to a stranger, or maybe have the waiter who is helping us, or someone sitting nearby to give us a word count to aim for. Democracy, group choice. So then it becomes the group's choice of who is currently sprinting with you. You also have lucky, which you draw twice, and then you get to choose which one you want to go for. Time warp, where you have to ask again later. Ditto, same as last straw. The chase, follow the leader. That means you have to, same as the highest color drawn or your color, depending on how difficult you want to be. So that can be challenging because there are some times when you may be sprinting in the very easy level, but there may be someone else sprinting in like the very hard level, and they may have picked out say a 1,000-word sprinting option for 20 minutes, whereas you might want to just keep going for that 250 top level of your choice. So and that is how you do the Bot of Doom. So I'm going to go down to chaos sprints here, and you can see it is a brand new channel. Not many people have been using the chaos sprints yet. So how to do this is where you want to do for slash commands. You hit slash, and I like to start typing sprint, and you can see here you get the commands come up, and it tells you which bot has that command. So you can see that writer bot has quite a few different commands with sprint in them, and then there's also sprinto. And you can choose any of these if you want, But like I said, we like to use Sprinto. So this is where things get tricky, but if you're just getting started, you can also just use your mouse to come up here and click on Sprinto. And then now he's going to give you options to start a sprint. So options, I'm going to do sprint for 2 minutes. For instance, I like to do 15 minutes. So you go sprint for 15 in 2. If you go 15 in 2, that will start your 15 minutes and it will begin in 2 minutes. So you have 2 minutes to join and get set up before the sprint starts. So you want to go ahead to join. You want to hit / and join. And again, hit enter, and then you have the option to join. And here it's asking you for a word count. How many words are you starting with? Now, some people like to just start with 0 and count the words in their work. Sometimes if I'm handwriting, I will just select 0 because I can easily see on my page where I've started writing and I can easily count and figure it out. Sometimes if you're in the middle of NaNoWriMo or the middle of the day, you can do, say, you're starting, if your Word document already has some words in it, it's easier just to choose the word count that you have in your document. So let's say I have 500 words or 150 words already on my document. So I go 150, hit enter, and I have joined the sprint with 150 words. That gives you some fun options because now Sprinto will do all the math for you. Not only is he keeping track of the time of the sprint, he is keeping track of your word count. So towards the end of the sprint, you can go /words and you set your word count and say, I now have 300 words. There you go. Well, that it ended up, because the sprint hasn't started, I have ended up just resetting my starting word count. There we go. Okay, so the sprint begins and you see it's got these green lights, green emojis showing you that the sprint has begun. It'll ping you or @mention you for those sprints. For that sprint, it'll also do the same thing when the sprint is over. Now that it is going, you can also, we'll try this updated words again. So you can always say, figure out. So if you saw that, I did /words, enter, and then enter again. And it's now showing me what I joined the sprint with, 300 words. So if I go /words and I'm going to go 400 words, I hit 400 and now it says I wrote 100 new words. So now Sprinto doesn't keep track past the sprint, other than if I were to start a new sprint, I could then go join /save, like it shows you right up here, to join with your last word count, but otherwise it doesn't keep track of your different words. Now I am going to go ahead and cancel this one, /cancel the sprint, and that will basically stop the sprint in progress. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to show you, well, maybe I'll go up to this one real quick. I will show you some sprints we were doing the other day. I can get some words in here. Okay, so now because I do the 5 a.m. sprints, you can see this sprint is time-stamped for 6 a.m. pretty much. I am often sprinting by myself, but this gives me a log that I can show you. So I created a sprint and I joined with 0 words. Time is up. So when the time is up, it usually has a bunch of red emojis with the time's up, and it's asking you for your final words. Usually there is a time limit. You have 3 minutes to give your final word count, or 2 minutes. I think it just depends on the length and how many people are in the sprint who have joined. So I use the word /words and I put in 66 words, and then it lists all the participants in the sprint. And then also it gives you a cute little quote, usually from another writer of sorts. So that is how you use the /sprint. You can also, if I go back to chaos sprints, because I had it going, but you can also use /time on Sprinto to check time remaining on a sprint. It'll also tell you if there is no sprint running, so you can start a sprint. I'm trying to think. You can go, let's see, if I go sprint, we're going to sprint with Sprinto, and you can, let's say I want to sprint for 20 minutes. Actually, I'm going to go 2 minutes at colon. Let's see, what time is it now? It's 12:20 currently, so I could set it for, say, 12. You can set it for, say, 22. And so if you wanted to sync your online writing sprints with, say, some people you were writing with in person, and you can say, okay, we're going to sprint for 15 minutes at 12:30. So that way you're sprinting from 12:30 to 12:45. You can easily make Sprinto start at 12:30 by using the @:22 or 30. Whatever. You don't want to put like the hour in the minutes, just the minutes, and it will start at the newest minute. So yeah, I think that is about it for the for Sprinto bots. I will show you @same. Again, you just go / and it'll pull up your /commands options and go same, enter, and that will pull up your last word count from the final from your last sprint. And this also applies to different channels. So if you're sprinting in chaos sprints and you go up to, say, the event cafe to join a sprint after your chaos sprint channel sprint was over, you can hit /same and it will pull up your same ending word count there. And you can see chaos sprints, that sprint just started and it pinged me. And I got the little red notification there, and it came up here and it says go, you have 2 minutes. So that is it for /commands. They are fairly simple, but they do take a little bit of getting used to. If you ever have trouble using the /commands, you can also @Sprinto with the commands. So you can go at the symbol, and then start typing Sprinto. But what you want to do is when it pulls up this menu, you want to select Sprinto, because you've got to get those special 4 numbers. So you want to make sure, if you have it over here, you can see it's Sprinto 2517. So you got to make sure you get those numbers. You don't actually have to type them, but you want to make sure you have this @Sprinto in the blue box selected. Then you can go join same. And that will also get you those, get you to join and use those commands if you are ever struggling with the /. Sometimes if you're using Discord on a mobile device like an iPad or your phone, the slash commands can be a little tricky. So having this backup of being able to at Sprinto really is helpful to know and to try out a couple of times. Now, if we go to general, you can see while we've been talking, it's been very quiet in the server. I'm doing this on a Wednesday morning, or I'm sorry, a Monday morning. It's not Wednesday, it's Monday. But you can see the time's up. So I'm going to go /words, enter, then enter my word count. I'm going to put 500, enter again, and my word count is now entered for the sprint. But back to what I was saying, there is, it's been pretty quiet in the server while we've been talking. And now you can see that this general channel has lit up white, and that means there is new messages in this channel. Same with introductions up here. It looks like we have some new friends joining us. So that is where that comes from. That's how you can tell when there's new unreads. Same thing with events. If you click on events up here, if there's a new event, those events would be highlighted white. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I normally have Discord in dark mode. So let me see if I can get into settings and show you what it is in light mode. So I'm not a big fan of white mode because I'm usually writing at night and it's bright. I think most people don't like white mode as well. So, but there is white mode and you can do that if you want. That's up to you if you would like, if you like things brighter to be able to read them. But yes, I just realized that. So, but I'm going to go back to user settings and fix this before it burns my eyes. Appearance, good, theme dark. But you can also change a bunch of different things. You can also change how big things are, chat font scaling, spaces between message group, your zoom level, your compact fit or your cozy modern fit. And it'll give you like a preview right here. So, but there's that, your cozy fit where you don't see people's icons or you can see them. Can also kind of change the font scaling and whatnot. So there is all of that. I think I have covered just about everything in our Discord server. If you have any questions about Discord, you can come to us again, like I said, in Hey Mods. But I do want to cover one more thing about our expectations for the NaNoRDU server. Right now it is mid-October. You can see we have some messages, but it is still fairly sparse and it is kind of calm and quiet. We have people joining us every now and then. Let me get back to general. You know, there's some conversation going on, but it is fairly quiet. When we get to the last week of October and into November, the Discord server gets very active, not just with sprints and writing, but with chatting and people catching up and talking about their novels and how things are going and where they're writing and what they're doing. So our server gets very active in those first, I would say that last week of October to about mid-November. And at mid-November, it'll start to slow down a little bit more, until say the last week of November. And then it will just die down over the off season, which is from December to about September, October again, when things will start to ramp up. But our server is active year round. You'll see more sprints happening in April and July due to Camp NaNoWriMo. And you'll also see people talking around about their Camp NaNoWriMo projects during November or during April and July as well. But we have a whole bunch of different events that happen throughout the year, and we are always there's always someone there in NaNoRDU server on Discord to interact with. The MLs are always there. I'm usually there. And so feel free to pop in at any time. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to message us. So I hope this walkthrough has been helpful. And otherwise, we will hopefully see you on Discord. Thank you so much. Bye.